Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to move on and continue some small maintenance on my Viper. What are we going to install? An oil separator, catch can, whatever you want to call it. Where did we get it? eBay, I think. What's it look like? Well, let me tell you. We have the holder or catch can where all the old oil, well, I'm not going to say old, but where all the oil that gets sucked through the line, where the PCV valve fails to do its job, is going to get trapped in here instead of getting circulated back through my intake and ruining my intake charge. Well, not really, but close enough. But you'd be surprised how much oil actually gets pulled through. I've got one of these on my Camaro. It does a great job. And we're going to install it on my Viper. Oh, yeah. So, for those of you that ain't been keeping up, or anybody that's new to my little channel, this is my 95 Dodge Viper. We have done some basic maintenance on it here recently, and this is just going to continue that trend before we go back over here to my Camaro. This oil separator and mount it on the car, and there's really no good place to mount it. Normally you would want somewhere out of the way, somewhere where it's not going to come into contact with anything. You're going to want a good place where it won't bother anything. But there's really no spaces anywhere that I've been able to find that'll be good and out of the way. So what I've come up with, I do believe, is we're going to mount this thing about like right here. To empty this particular oil separator, you have to unscrew it. So they separate. And you take this when it's full and you go dump it out. So then you put it back together. What we need to make sure is wherever we choose to mount this thing, we can unscrew it and dump it, because there's no point in mounting it if you can't get it unscrewed to go dump it. I see yet another potential problem. I'm just wondering if, let me try to explain what I see as a problem. I can mount the bracket, but when I go to attach the bracket back to the oil separator here, how am I going to get back in here to tighten up these Allen screws? This isn't very thick to begin with, but it'll hold those screws. I'm going to use about 1/2 inch sheet metal screws. I'm wondering, and I'm not wondering who wrote the Book of Love. I'm wondering how I'm going to make this work. I'm sitting here watching this and thinking, can I flip this upside down? Because, so, what we're trying to do is, will this thing mount upside down? Doesn't look like it. Hold it like this, like off. That's man. But look, if I can do it like that, obviously it does not look as good. But if it's mounted here, then I can come down. Unscrew this, come out of the way, and reattach. So, how we have this installed on my Camaro is the bracket's the other way around, but there's no way to get an Allen wrench in here to tighten these up after you mount this, because you can't. One of the holes is going to be blocked by the body, so you have to put this piece on first, and then you got nowhere how to get back in here and get these tight. So if you were to do this first, it's going to be like this, and then you have no way to get back in there and tighten those up. You would need some sort of spacer. Then you would need it to be a spacer that is at least a couple inches thick. And then it's just going to look stupid. So you'd have to have at least that much room, so you would need it to stick out that far. Hopefully that makes sense. Once again, let's try this. What we're gonna do just as bad. There's really no good way to do this. These aren't the best design out there. There's better units, but it costs more money. And I am notoriously cheap. So what I'm using is just some sheet metal screws, self-tappers. And I'm just going to start my hole, and then I'll come back and attach the bracket afterwards. Get it up. Yes. We could do this one of two ways. I'm going to try to make it work. We really need little bolts with an actual head on them to where we can use a little wrench. Because there's no way, unless I had a teeny tiny little where I could get it. So if I took this, cut off probably all but there, which I can do, I'm just not willing to do at this particular moment in time. Let's just keep soldiering along. See if I can get these finger tight. Not looking like it. Where is it? Right there? Is it going on? Okay, let's start. Let's see if roll. No, wait. Well, that was a little easier. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back when I can see outside and cut off all but maybe quarter inch of this little Allen wrench, make it my little special wrench, and that way I can go down in there and tighten it up. But for now, it's good. We're just mocking this up at this point. It does the same thing. So you just need to put a little in and out. Now, I swear, I did not measure those head just good. So, these video, something like that. We can make some modifications, we're just doing a little mock-up from where this cap is at, which is already split and cracked after 2 years. It goes here, just like that. Where it's at. Connect it down here, just like that. Okay. Go on top like so. Put that on tape.
the next day.
We have made our own tool, which really didn't do much. We just shortened up an Allen wrench, so, which is cool. Now the goal is we got to tighten these up on the back, which this fits in there, but it's still very tight.
She seems to be pretty tight. So I guess we'll add clamps real quick.
So, once again, if we did not cover this in the beginning, the whole point of a catch can or an oil separator is your PCV valve is supposed to only let pressure and gases out of your valve cover to basically relieve pressure. You shouldn't have any oil being pulled up through the system. Now, what ends up happening is that PCV valve is only so efficient. Yes, it does a good job of minimizing the oil that is being vacuumed out through the system, and when it is, it's turned around and ran back through your intake system to, I guess, make your exhaust charge a little bit cleaner instead of having it vented to the atmosphere. So what happens is all of that gases and any oil that is pulled out gets run back through your intake manifold, and then you end up getting it put back through your intake, and it coats the inside of your upper intake manifold with motor oil, and it also gums up your spark plugs and everything else over time. What I want to do now is start the car up, check for any sort of hissing sounds, leaks, or anything. I want to see if I turn my wheel, if we're going to have any contacts with these back sides of these sheet metal screws that I got in here. And then we'll cut those, maybe paint them black on the other side so you can't see them. So let's start it up. Got our catch can installed. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but if you listen real carefully, you can hear it venting. So, if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And keep coming back for more interesting little side projects that I have planned. Got something nice coming for the Camaro, a nice upgrade. So until then, I'll see you